What's going on, YouTube? Pistol Pete here. Do I have a fun one for you today, man? As you can see by the title, I was able to acquire one of the world's biggest folding production knives. And as you know me, if you follow my channel at all and see what I like, I love just ridiculously big buoys and knives and folding knives. I just love them. And yes, I understand they're not that practical, but this isn't Pistol Pete Practical Knife Channel. This is Pistol Pete Knife Reviews. So I love them all, from practical knives to tiny knives to huge knives, all knives. I don't discriminate on any knife. But I really do love and admire these big knives, especially functional knives. Because even though it's ridiculous, maybe not practical, but they are usable, functional knives. This one here is the way they're built with quality in mind. So even though it's a ridiculous concept and maybe a little impractical, yes, you know, but it's just a bitchin' awesome knife. And if you're a knife collector or a knife enthusiast like me, you'll love to have this in your collection. So I was lucky to actually get this on eBay. You know, it was a kind of a tough one to get. A lot of people are bidding on it, and it's getting rare and rare. You can find them still. People sell them, but they're real pricey. They're real pricey. So you know, I luckily got on eBay for less than half price, you know, on a bid. So I lucked out, and that's the way I'm gonna afford them. You know, I can't afford to pay full price for these damn knives, but it's just bitching. So I'm fortunate to get it. I'm stoked. It's added to my collection of big folders, and let's get started. Check this thing out. Let me show you the box first. So you have the Midgard Messer symbol there, because that's the maker, Midgard Messer. And the name of this knife is called man, I had a brain fart. Let me see here. Open up and tell you here. The Fenris. Fenris. Blah, blah, blah. I've been saying that all day. So anyways, before I show you this, let me pull it out and show you this. Let me do a drive-by with it. So, like I said, it's right up my alley. Just super badass. Just awesome, awesome knife. Let me give you a little sneak peek there, but let's do a drive-by. Look at this freaking beast. And it's going, and it keeps going and going. And look at this. Whoa. Look at this freaking thing, man. This is like the size of my freaking whole forearm, dude. It's freaking so huge. So let's get this bad boy open. Damn. I can't even get it on the frame. Here we go. So you got an 11-inch blade. DPM D2 steel, or CPM, sorry, CPM D2 steel. You have aircraft aluminum handle scales, and the handle length here is 14 inches. So altogether you have over like a 25-inch knife, all fully opened. Almost little under a quarter-inch thick. It's like about little over 3/16, right between 3/16 and a quarter-inch. So it's fairly thick. And again, like I said, the DPM. It's just, I'm sorry, I keep saying DPM. The D2 steel, the CPM D2 steel, just strong, heat treat. Midgard Messer makes awesome, awesome knives. And you can tell there, it's just, look how beautiful that is, man. Just freaking amazing. Just, this thing is just a monster. So the main thing when I do show a lot of shorts on these, and you know, that's funny. Every time I show a short on this, that's the main thing I get. Man, that thing's ridiculous. That's not even usable. And man, that'll chop your fingers off, because it is a liner lock, mind you. It is a liner lock. It locks in pretty tight, but it is a damn liner lock. But Midgard Messer keeps this in mind, right? Because they don't want people losing their fingers and lawsuits and things like that. Because, I mean, they do have, this thing comes with like 1,000 warnings, you know, used with extreme precaution. Because this sucker is a freaking, you hear that? It's a razor blade. It's super, super sharp. Hair popping sharp. I mean, this thing will shave anything. So, I mean, but they do have a disclaimer that says, you know, never use without the locking pin. So this thing does come with a screw lock. It's a solid steel locking pin. And it screws into this aluminum frame. So it's pretty thick aluminum, you know. I did have a few people I saw in comments or saying from other content creators, and I was looking at the comments on everything. They're saying, yeah, I can see during hard use, this aluminum may be warping or something in here if you're using it hardcore. I can maybe see that if you're really, so here, screw it in here. If you're really hammering something with it, I mean, I think you have to really be pounding something with it. But other than that, I don't see this thing breaking. I mean, chopping small branches, and I mean, maybe only way I can see that warping pretty bad is if you're trying to baton through a fucking whole tree log, you know, like a 10-inch log or thicker, and you're trying to chop through it, and you're hammering with your baton or with a rubber mallet or something, and you're smashing, maybe you can, but just normal chopping branches, I don't see this breaking. And then with this steel liner, see, it goes all the way through, locks in tight, flush here, so it's nice and tight. I don't see this coming loose and chopping you're chopping with it, you're not gonna chop anything off. I mean, that turns it into pretty much a fixed blade there with this thick, huge aircraft aluminum. It's pretty damn thick. You can see there. So I don't see this coming loose or breaking. Maybe warping, like you said, if you're chopping if you're just using this 100% as a chopper and you're chopping all day long, you might get warping out. Even that, I don't know. We'd have to maybe message the company and say, hey man, how strong is that aircraft aluminum? If we chop with it, do you think it'll hold up? And see what they say. Or if you baton with it. But this is, again, guys, this is not meant for that. This is just showpiece. This is like just for a collector, right? If you're a collector and you love big freaking folders, I love big folders, I love them, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you here. Let's sit down. I barely have any hair because I have shave all the time doing demonstrations, but let's see. See how sharp it is. Oh yeah. Like I said, I have very little arm hair here because I'm always doing demonstrations and shaving my hair, but just to show you, yeah, this sucker is sharp. I mean, it's getting it, but I barely have any arm hair on my arm, so you can probably barely see that there, but it's taking hair off. Let me try this arm real quick. This one has more. This one will be better. Oh, yeah, sharp. This one is just, this arm over here is bald. This one here, I'm gonna show you right now how sharp this. Holy crap! So you're not messing around with a fake doll knife. This thing is. Let's see, is it picking it up? Look at that. And mind you, my arms are, I always use my arms for demonstration, so I hardly have any arm hair. And it's still catching all those little baby hairs and shaving them off. So this sucker is sharp. It is a sharp, usable knife. Oh man, I love it. I love it. I know, like I said, I know that the comments are going to be ridiculous. That's just dumb, blah, blah, blah. But to me, and I think other knife, like the brothers of the blade, the true brothers of the blade will just get a kick out of this, dude. They're going to love it. They're going to freaking be like, yeah, that's badass. They're going to want one. Just freaking awesome. And then just to show you the size comparison, because most of the knife people know a Spada XL. And a Spada XL is already freaking ridiculous. It's already freaking ridiculous. And so that shows you how ridiculous this is. So let me show you the Spada. Let me just pull up the Spada first. A Spada XL, which is already, like I said, a huge freaking folder. Look at this thing. Huge ass folder. Now, I never thought I would see the day where I'd be like, well, let's see another knife that would make this look small. That makes this look like the medium. That's how big this sucker is, dude. Look how big the Fenris is. Man, dude, that's awesome. I freaking love it. I love it. And I love the satin finish on this one, you know. This one's cool too. This one's an old school bead blast version. I like this better than that. Like I said before, I'm not a fan of the freaking stonewash. It looks like sheet metal piece to me. This looks way more classier. This was the hollow grind. I'm gonna still do a review on this later, but I just want to show you the comparison between these two. Just freaking nuts, man. Just nuts. And you know what though? Again, people are saying the same thing. Like, you know, with this, they prefer their light. They would depend their lives on this with the triad lock way more over this. Yeah, and with this pin in place, I don't know though. I think I would trust my life with this one, with the pin in place. With the pin out, no, it's a freaking liner lock. That'd be scary. If this thing comes out and the liner lock gives it all, you're chopping all your fingers off completely with the weight of this and everything. But with with this triad lock, obviously it's a little more. Even this is funny to say, but more practical with this one than it is this one. You know, in an emergency, you pop this out, flip it open, use that wave feature. This thing's automatically pretty much turns into a fixed blade with that triad lock, and you don't have to do anything. Now this one, if something comes up and you have to open it up, you have to screw in that pin real fast. Yeah, you're pretty much gonna die. And then you're kind of taking your life at risk if you just open it up and start swinging it at something that's attacking you. You're getting attacked by a bear and you have this out in the woods for some weird reason. You have this on you because you're just like someone. If you're like a dummy like me, that would probably get a holster for this and keep this on your side. Yeah, you're not gonna want to. You're not gonna want to just use the pin on the liner lock to and swinging this thing around, man. That's could chop your fingers. The only way I could think of is if you pull it out and you use it as a damn spear, you just use it to throw it. then maybe you don't have to worry about chopping your fingers off. But let's take this off here. And then what's cool too is it has a secondary lock here. I'm gonna show you guys for when it's closed, so it doesn't open up, because it says it's so big. The retention on this, I should say the detent, is not very strong, obviously, because it is a huge knife. You know, it's gonna be, I mean, the action is super smooth. The action on this is, look at that. It's on ball bearings. So, I mean, it's super smooth, but even that detent. So, I mean, it'll stay, but as soon as you shake it a little bit, it comes loose. So it is a pretty weak detent on there. So to get over that, and they thought of that too, Midgard Messer, you know, using their ingenuity, has a pin too for when it's closed. So you just put that on this opposite side here. Here's the side when you open it up and you lock it in, turn it into your fixed blade. This side is for when you want to just keep it closed, and say you are going to keep this in your pocket or put this in your backpack or have this in your car or something. You don't have to worry about it opening. So now once you have it in there, not going anywhere, you know, it's staying closed, you know. It'll move a little bit, but not too bad. So another safety feature there for when it's closed. You can put the lock on the other side, and then if not, you just have it here. Boom, ready to roll. Oh man, all right guys, that's it for this one. As you tell, this stuff puts a smile on my face, but it's just so badass. I lost my train of thought. I wanted to say, okay, please like, subscribe, share, and until next knife, gun, or whatever.